Hey, good afternoon. If you're on the live stream today, joining us, Happy New Year 2025. Wow, unbelievable. And hey, Santa gave me a new camera this year. It's a little overdue. But if you don't know me, I'm Mike Asherbranner, the proud and humble leader of the Hounds of Business community. And you are rolling with us on Mike King Biz Radio on ESPN 106.1 RVA. Man, Mike King, you had a stellar year, my friend. Thank you for our partnership, working together, collaborations, and can't wait to make a bigger impact together here in 2025. Wow, can't wait to introduce my special guest today, Richard Lowe, the writing king. So let's roll this intro and let's get started, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, wait a minute. We've got folks already in. We've got Royce Blake in the house. We've got Michelle Ramos. Uh, Wow, Michelle Ward is here as well. All right, packed house. Good sign for the new year. Let's roll this intro.
Are you looking to grow your network and your net worth with other high-level, heart-centered professionals? Then grab a seat and your favorite beverage and join Mike Asherbranner, the Redneck Connector. It's time for the Hounds of Business Community Happy Hour.
Well, there he is. All right. Well, everyone, welcome.
Hello.
Very special guest. I'm excited to see you. Welcome, Richard Lowe, the writing king, man. He is known as the writing king. He's authored over 63 published works, including 2 bestsellers. He specializes in helping business leaders amplify their influence through compelling storytelling. His expertise spans various topics, making him the most sought after ghostwriter in the industry. Thanks for being here, Richard. How are you? How was New Year's going, man?
I'm doing well. The New Year's has started off with a bang. Everything's going perfect.
Yes,
And
sir, man. I'm excited to dive into the story. All right. Let's start at the beginning. We won't, like I said, we won't start at second grade or anything, but tell us a little bit about your journey and what inspired you to pursue writing and ghostwriting in the first place, Richard.
well, I'd worked for corporate for 33 years in the tech industry and as the computer operations director for Trader Joe's. And one day I just decided, okay, it's time to work for myself now. I'm tired of working for corporate. I'm tired of working for bosses. And I'm tired of California. So I picked up my bags and I moved one day after my birthday. I had a huge blowout birthday party with about 200 guests, got in a moving van and moved across the United States to Florida. And within a few weeks, I'd started writing and then started ghostwriting and started a little ghostwriting company. And soon as I left that job, I only stayed there for a few months. I started my own ghostwriting company, and then I was pulling in high ticket at the time. It seemed high ticket to me, ghostwriting gigs. And since then, I've written actually 52 ghostwritten books and 63 of my own books. So over 100 books in 11 years. And
Wow.
it's been quite a journey.
Oh, yeah, it sounds like it. Am I cutting in and out?
Yes, a little bit, but you're fine.
All right. Hey, we had a major ice and snowstorm out there. So, folks on the radio, folks on live, hey, my apologies. We'll get through it. Hey, you said something compelling that I can relate to. You said you just kind of got sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? You just wasn't
Yep.
happy in what you were doing anymore. I think a lot of folks can relate to that. If you're in the comments on the live right here, hey, you comment on that. You just kind of say, I'm going to do something else. It sounds like the craziest thing ever. But did you did you always have a passion for writing? Did you do it as a hobby when you started writing? When you moved, was it just a hobby?
Well, my first ghostwritten book was when I was 17 years old. And I wanted to meet my grandfather, and everybody told me he's a weird guy. He's bizarre. He talked to himself, blah, blah, blah. And I'm 17, and I looked at my grandfather and said, I want to meet my grandfather. And he had stories to tell. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to write his book. So I went and talked to him, interviewed him a few times. Turns out the guy had been captured on Corregidor by the Japanese in World War II, was in the Bataan Death March, and spent most of the war in a prisoner of war camp, and lots of trauma. And I decided after that, first of all, nothing that I was going through could even come close to that. So I stopped complaining about things. And second of all, he can be as weird and strange and talk to himself all he wants, because that's not something I'd want to do. And it was quite a fascinating story. We never published it. I was only 17. I wasn't really a writer. And then over the years, I've written stories and stuff, never published them really. Had a couple columns in some magazines for a few months. And then, but it was something I always wanted to pursue. So I figured, okay, I got a little money saved up from Trader Joe's where I was working. So I might as well go off on my own and start my own company. And that's what I did.
Wow. So did you just see success after success, or was it kind of high and low, or, how was that experience when you first started off?
Oh, it was high and low, because the one thing that I didn't realize is that I have to learn how to market. And I never really caught on to how marketing works, which is why, well, we're talking a lot. Marketing is, I tend to be introverted. In fact, little story there. I've always been shy. I mean, so shy I couldn't talk to anybody. It was a defense mechanism from growing up. And when the wife passed away, I decided I don't want to be shy anymore. So I picked up the camera and started photographing dancers and models, supermodels, WWE wrestlers and things like that. And before too long, and I was using the camera to talk to them. Before too long, I didn't need the camera anymore. After 1,200 photo shoots, I didn't need the camera anymore. So I'm still introverted, but I'm not shy. And that took a lot of work to break. It was not easy.
Yeah, that's inspiring to a lot of folks. I know a lot of folks, friends, hounds, a lot of folks in the same boat. My mentor is the same way, Richard. To this day, he says he's introverted, kind of shy, and you can't tell. So you can learn it. So any introverts out there, hey, there's your inspiration right here.
Well, introversion and shyness are different. Shyness is you don't want to talk. You have trouble talking to people. Introversion is you just want to stay in a small group or by yourself. And I'm still introverted. I have a in-person event coming up at the end of the month, and I'm already getting the jitters about it. But on something like this is awesome. I'm talking to a person that I'm not shy here. It's fine. It's the like a party or a social event that brings me anxiety. And I every year I go up in a hot air balloon because I'm scared of heights. And every few years I go down into a cave and do some cave hiking because I'm claustrophobic. And yeah, I'm still claustrophobic and I'm still afraid of heights, but at least I know I can conquer it and it's not taking over my life.
Yeah, courage before confidence, man. Your courage before confidence personified, right? People ask, do they ask you? They ask me. They say, hey, where'd you get the confidence to do what you do? I said, confidence? No, I had courage. I had courage to look like a donkey if that's what was going to happen, just to do something. Do you relate to that, or?
I relate to that a lot. Yeah, it takes courage, and it takes willing to get out of your box, or maybe even just get rid of the box entirely, is the way I like to put it. Why do you have a box? So we have this box that we grew up with. Our parents put us there, our jobs. That's one reason why I wanted to leave my job, is because that's a box that I was in. So now I have a lot more freedom and I'm not in that box. Now I'm breaking the box of marketing. I don't know how to market, and you're helping me with that. And the box dissolves, and every time it dissolves, I get a little more powerful, doing more things and be able to do more stuff.
You just stack the wins, right? Little win, bigger win, they just stack up. Is that right?
They build off of
That's
each
what I've
other.
noticed.
They build off of each other. And one
Yeah,
thing
they
that I
do.
noticed is they also build the losses, or the not doing stuff builds on each other too. I was procrastinating on a few things in the past year, and it's amazing how much that builds up into this solid mass. And it took me a while to peel that apart and go, okay, I didn't finish that. I didn't finish that. I didn't do this. I didn't finish that, and get those things solved. And then I'm able to do more and more and more. And I found out that's one of the mind killers, is letting old stuff pile up that's not done, and not done or decided not to do. And I also decluttered and a lot of other things to clear my life up. And it's starting to go a lot smoother now. And it's very interesting.
and now you're the writing king, right? And it's not just a title, man. You back it up. We didn't have enough digits to even put all your book accomplishments on it. So for the folks listening, driving around right now in Richmond and all over the place worldwide, online, in your vast experience, man, how does writing a book impact a professional's career trajectory? Like, do you have any success stories or examples for the folks listening out there who might be thinking about this?
Yep, my very first professional ghostwriting client was a pretty big deal for me. He was from France, and he wanted to write a book about a particular technical subject to get the attention of the CEO of his company, so that he could get promotions and things. Well, when the book was done, and it was a tough book because it's very technical, but he wanted it to talk to business people. The CEO not only noticed him, but wrote the forward of the book. He got promoted. He got venture capital later for like $30 million to start his own company using the book as credibility. It's in libraries now, and it's quite a story. He's on a speaking circuit and making like $20,000 per pop, just speaking to people on keynote speeches. Another of my clients just did a TED Talk recently. He's real proud of that, and so am I, because I'm the one who suggested he do a TED Talk. And I could go on and on and on. Every client who's written a book, who's actually taken the trouble to use it, has had significant results in their career and their business. That's the whole purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me ask you this, because we're gonna talk about this on the HOB Live. Hey, shameless plug, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Hey, you get to see Richard in a different light, right? But let me ask you this. Is there a kind of a stigma, because you help CEOs, you help scale ups, you help folks who are transitioning, C suites and all kind of folks that are trying to go, like you said, the next level or transition to a different industry, perhaps. Is there a stigma behind this where, ghostwriting or assistance writing, where people kind of have like, I don't know if I should do that. Maybe I should write my own book. What is the consensus?
Yeah, there's barriers that I have to get through every time I talk to somebody. One of them is relatively new, is AI. AI. Well, what about AI? I hear that a lot. Well, AI is a terrible writer. It's very easy. Just if you want to do AI, go for it, but your book's going to be terrible and it's not going to be read by a lot of people.
Even
Another
I can
one.
tell when you use it. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. It's pretty obvious. Even the most modern AI writes terrible books. It's not human. It's not a brain. It's just rote pattern recognition, and that's probably all it ever will be. Then what I do when I write a book for somebody is I spend a lot of time talking to them to get to their heart and their soul, to find out what's behind the book, who's the audience for the book, and what's behind that, what's their heart of the book, and try and put that heart back into the writing so that it shines. So it's not just rote writing. It's actually got a heart to it, got their stories, got their life, got all kinds of other things. Another thing I overcome a lot is people who think it's going to be easy. It's not easy. I can only do a few a year. So it's not easy, especially the kind of books I write. And I write all kinds of different books. And they think it's some people come in respecting it highly, and they're great. And some people come in, they think it's going to be, McDonald's level wages, and it's not that easy of a job. It's tough.
Right. It's an investment. It's an investment in your career, your future, your brand, all that stuff. Correct? Yeah.
Yeah, it costs less than a new car these days. I mean, if you're going to buy a car, and it's tax deductible, unlike a car, it's tax deductible. So, if you're doing it for a business, go for it, get a book.
Yeah, Aristotle would be happy with this logic. No, because if you write your book and you continue to invest in yourself, then you can buy a limo. Right? I mean, that's the goal, right? It's the American dream. Right?
Yeah, that book will expand to many different areas of life.
Yeah, I want to hone in on this discussion because it's getting real fun and interesting. But before I do, had to get a shout out to Mike King Biz Radio. Hey, thank you for all you do for the community, man. We love helping people on a national level, international. You are now helping people on all levels. And so thank you for this collaboration, working together. You're the man. All right. And Hounds of Business always showing up for one another, pushing each other up. They're in the comments. Hey, listen, if you have an overwhelming passion and desire to, build a business, make an impact through that business. All right. It's really hard to do, especially if you put other people first. All right. So, hey, don't do it alone. If you need the support and resources to make that dream a reality, hey, look us up. We're on YouTube, Hounds of Business, right? On YouTube, LinkedIn, or you can send me a carrier pigeon. All right. If you can find it in Kentucky. All right. So we are good. We are here with the writing king, Richard Lowe. And wow, this party's just getting started. We need to have another one soon, but because we're not gonna have enough time. But let me go back to one thing and then another. I would love the people in the comments. Hey, chime in on this. We're going to do that segment with you and some special guests called amateurs versus professionals, right? Amateurs versus pros. And one of the things that pops in is for me personally, I'm not throwing shade. I'm just sharing what I know, so somebody else doesn't do the same thing, right? Uh, I find it fascinating. I'm good at a few things, right? And you can lead a community, you can lead a business, you can do a lot. But if I have a toothache, man, I don't go in there and start drilling on it with my power drill, right? I go to a professional, right? If I have my car brakes, not all rednecks like me are good at mechanics, right? I don't go playing with the engine, and most people wouldn't. So I just find it fascinating that if you're a CEO or you're a founder and you're doing your business, you got enough tasks, right? And you probably go out like Richard said, hey, I need marketing help. I need this kind of help, right? You look for pros who failed more times than you've tried. And that's why we have Richard on. There's so many people who realize, even in today's tech world, right, Richard? The book is not going out of style, right? It's not going out of style. It's still a valuable tool to get your name out there, to get people to know what you do, and to go further into exploring your business, your company, and what you've got going on. So, and back to the investment portion, man, that, you know, there's fast food and then there's fine dining, right? Like that's what we're talking here. If we're going to invest, we might as well go all in and get something that we can use to help us get
Right.
to that next level.
That's right. That's what you want to do. Your book is a tool that will help you market. It's like doing any number of other tools. If you use it properly, you will be able to get all of the benefits from it. So if you take that book and you slice it up in different content, like one of my clients sliced it up into speeches. So each chapter became a speech, a keynote speech. Another one did a TED Talk, like I said, all these other things. That's the benefit of the book. Now, sometimes people write books for other reasons. I have a couple of old senior clients who write books because they want to leave a legacy for their grandchildren. That's another entirely different market, and they're in their senior years, and they want to make sure their children know what they did, like World War II vets or Vietnam vets and stuff like that. Then I have one woman who did I wrote a book, a novelization of her dreams going back 70 years. She hand wrote them all, and
Wow.
that came out a pretty good novel. That one's on Amazon. It's called Gators in the Soup. You guys should pick up a copy. And it's exactly what she wanted. And it just fulfilled her lifelong dream. And it's interesting, the power of the book, just seeing the look on her face when she got that book, the lifelong dream. And, she got it. And unfortunately, she passed away from COVID shortly afterward, but she got her dream. And that was great.
Yeah, I can hear the passion in your voice. Can y'all hear that? Yeah, y'all can
Yeah.
just tell. The guy loves his clients. He loves the impact he's making, and that's why he's on this daggum show, y'all. That's what I mean, right? The knowledge with the heart, man, equals where else you going to find it. That's right. So let me backtrack to what you said a little bit earlier, because I find this really interesting at minimum, right?
Okay.
You mentioned that you listen deeply to your clients to understand their goals, their voice, right? So it's not like you're writing it and they're putting their name on it, right? Can you walk us through the general process of capturing that authentic voice, right? How do you go about that a little bit? Like, why is it important?
Well, I interview them a lot. So for a typical 60, 70,000 word book, I'll probably interview them for a month, meaning an hour a day for a whole month on weekdays. And I'll talk to them about their life, their careers, their backstory, anything else that comes to mind, I'll talk to them about. And their passions. And what I want to get to is their passions. Where's their heart? So if their business is, one of them was a cleaning franchise. He had a cleaning franchise. So what's special about that? Well, I got his passion for it in the book, and how much he liked it, and how much he liked hiring people who could then do cleaning, and how their jobs were fulfilled, and all this kind of stuff. Get all that in the book so that it's not just a book about cleaning, but it's a book about how cleaning fits lifestyles and makes a person happier and healthier, and et cetera, et cetera. And that is an art. Most ghostwriters don't do that. They want to get the facts, and some of the emotion, but I actually want to undercut that and get to the more baser level of what is their passion, and why are they writing this book? Why is this book their passion? Because they're spending money on it, and it's got to be their passion. And that's fun to find out why this person's passionate about blockchain, or why they're passionate about new kinds of energy, or their rock star career, or whatever they're doing, whatever they are. What's the passion behind it? And that becomes the basis for making a really, truly good book.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. See, this is what the misconception. You're not just writing a book, right? You're taking a lot of time to hone in on what your client thinks, feels, the solution, not just the hey, clean house, right? What does that bring the person? Why is that important? Why are they willing to work through and meet with you so many times, right?
Right.
That's the difference maker. That's why we get. I keep going in and out. I appreciate everybody's patience. Can you hear me now?
It's totally fine. It's totally fine.
Good. But that's the difference maker, is that you really want to make sure you encapsulate that. How does the author want to make people feel, right? What are they trying to help someone avoid, right? What's the outcome, the impact? That's why we get along so daggone well. So on that note, let me ask you, man, I told you time flies when you're having fun, man. I tell you this. So for those looking to start the writing journey, right? What's some of the best advice you would give them on finding their unique voice? How do they start now while they're scratching and doodling and making notes and kind of entertaining the idea before they get to you?
Well, there's a couple ways. First of all, they can just set up a call with me, and we'll explore that on a 1-hour discovery call. And then I'd probably, if they weren't ready to start their book yet, I'd send them home with some homework to come up with, how did they come up with the passion? And what it is it's what drives the person. And it often is best done in a brainstorming session with another person. That's one reason why in some of my contracts, we do like 10 hours up front, where it's just, that's the contract and that's all it is. And we during those 10 hours or 15 hours or however long it is, we discuss that passion. What are they doing for most of their life, and why do they do it? And often it turns out they're doing something that they hate, and we have to then find out, okay, what do they want to do? And that would have been me 15 years ago. I was working a tech job. It's fine, it's paying the bills, but it wasn't something I really liked. What was my passion? To bring out the passion in other people and put it in words. So what is your passion? Your passion is to help people, I think, to help people expand their brand or their personality or whatever so that other people can pick it up and they can have a better life and business from it. That's a passion. Somebody else might have a passion for helping people in need, or did a book for a battered woman who we did a book on her life, and she had a passion to help other women out of those kind of things. So then we got to the root of that. The rock star had a passion for everything. He was all over the place. And every day was a different passion. So we had to narrow it down to one passion, because that's what the book's about, is one thing. So it's really a lot of one-on-one conversations until we root it out. It doesn't come across, it usually doesn't spill out in the first 3 seconds, the first 10 minutes of the first session. But we can get a start on it. If that makes sense.
It makes total sense. Yeah, I was a little bit wiser when I started writing in my first book or two. I knew it was going to be a challenge. I called in the Army to help me, man. I was like, oh, because I remember them saying, hey, do you want to write in a book? I said, I might want to read some first, man. My ADHD won't let me read them. But again, there's no substitute for someone who has been there and done that. You don't see anybody at the Olympics that got there by themselves, right? They have elite coaches, teams of coaches, right? And that's why I wanted to share you, because there's so much buzz and excitement, rightfully so, for people wanting to increase that, thought leaders wanting to go out there and make an impact. But dadgummit, don't do it alone. You've got this kind of professional. Talk to them. right? Have that consultation, man. That's go ahead.
Let me tell you a story at Trader Joe's. I used to hire veterans. I hired ex-special forces, ex-Marines, sometimes active, reservist Marines and stuff. This was during the Iraq War and Afghan War. And my boss was questioning, why are you hiring veterans? Why aren't you hiring normal people? And I said, because they get things done. They work as a team. They have discipline. I say, I need this, and they just do it. They don't argue about it. They want to discuss it maybe to get more facts, but they're not spending time telling me why I can't do it, what the barriers are. They're like, okay, we need to move this cabinet, but we need to think the computers are still on while we're moving it. So how do we do that? Balloons and all kinds of contraptions. This is real. All kinds of contraptions to move this half-ton cabinet while it was live with 300 systems running on it, and without bringing any downtime. And they did it, and it's just massive contraction. And my boss refused to go in the room because he was like scared it was going to fall over. I said, no, these guys are ex-Marines and ex-Special Forces. They'll handle it just fine. I mean, they were in combat. This is nothing compared to that. And that's something that I learned over the years, probably from my grandfather from that time, it's the discipline, it's the teamwork. He didn't survive 4 years in a Japanese POW camp alone. They worked together to outsmart the Japanese captors and the soldiers. And that was a big lesson for me as a kid.
Wow.
Hopefully I answered your question there.
Yeah, no, you did great. It's not just about the job. That's what I want to emphasize. You really care and you learn a ton. I'm the same way. Each person I help, each client I work with, man, I learn so much. That's how we evolve. And then you can use that for the next client, right? And you're already on 10,000 clients or something. So you got a wealth of knowledge. So we're almost, this is the calmest me and you have been, man. We're going to have to give you some water next time on Wednesday, because we could have a ball. So we're behaving today. If you want to see us not behave, go to Wednesday's show. There we go. But let me ask you this, wrapping up, because we got to go in just a minute. I hate that. So first of all, where can people find you? Is the website the best way to reach out? And what can they expect if they want to have a chat and learn more?
They could just go to the Writing King, and there's a form. They can read the first page, and then it has lots of links to a contact form, and they can get hold of me that way. Or they can go to my LinkedIn, Richard Lowe Jr. As my LinkedIn thing. They can go there and pick me up. And I'm going to be on lots of radio shows. I'm probably going to do one or two of these type of things per week from now on with different people, because first of all, they're fun. I mean, talking to people is just fun. I'm enjoying it more than I thought I would. But sometimes life forces you to do things you aren't necessarily think you were going to be good at. And the best ways from the website. You could also go to that's the easiest way. Just go to the website, and there's contact forms on there.
Well, I tell you what, if you can still hear me and see me, let me ask you the last question. We got 30 seconds. What is it down the pipeline for the Writing King, man? Is there any upcoming projects or initiatives and things that's coming up next, or are you just looking for that next person to help out?
I've got big plans for this year to find some really cool clients. One client, I want to get a celebrity client. I have a couple in mind. Of course, I'm a ghostwriter, so I can't say who. And if I can nail those clients, I'm going to be really, really happy. I don't think the one I'm thinking of, he's a big name, has written a book yet. I have to figure out how to get past all of the people they put in front of them to keep people from getting to him. So I think I have an in. So, and I just want to keep doing what I'm doing and help people. The more people I can help with the book, the better off I feel.
Oh, man. And I believe it. I know it. I love working with you, Richard. Love having you in the Hounds, my friend. We're going to have a blast together, changing lives, making things happen, pushing people up. So everybody go to thewritingking.com, thewritingking.com. Thank you for tuning in. Have a happy new year, guys. Follow us on Hounds of Business. And hey, we can't wait. Next week, we'll have the one and only Bob Lambert. If you want to know about sales, hey, this guy's got a half a century or more behind him. So, hey, let's get after it. All right, guys. Thank you, Richard. You're the man. Thank you, all the Hounds, for showing up. And we will catch you Wednesday, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern on YouTube or LinkedIn. Y'all have a great day. Happy New Year.
Thank you very much.